All right, guys, happy Thursday. It's our social studies test. Start with your name on the top of the page. Our social studies test follows the same format that we've had on our other two tests. Our words are colony, culture, democracy, diverse, and immigrant. And now you're welcome to check those out on your TCI website to help if you need any help. I'll read them to you. American Indians are a blank people with many different tribes and languages. Number 2, some who come from another place to live in a country. So these are the people that travel from their country to our country. 3, a blank is a settlement that is ruled by another country. Number 4, the form of government in which people vote for their leaders is called, this is the kind of government that we have here in the United States. And number 5, a way of life shared by a group of people is called what? Okay. Multiple choice. Now remember, we like you to write them out in front, so go ahead and put little lines here in front of each of them. You can circle your number and then write in front. Descendants of the first people who settled in the Americas are the American Indians, the Asians, the Europeans, the African. Well, we all know it's the Indians, so you're going to write a big old A on your line there for number 6. Which of people contributed the cowboy to the United States? Was that the Indians, the Asians, the Africans, or the Latinos that came from Spain or Mexico? Number 8. Scientists believe that the first people came to America by what? And this was a good one on our review yesterday. Sailing from the Hawaiian Islands, sailing from Europe to South America, walking along the coast of Europe and Africa, or walking across a land bridge from Asia to North America. Number 9. Americans whose ancestors came from countries like China, Japan, the Philippines, Korea, and India are known as, are those Indians, Asian Americans, African Americans, or Latinos? Number 10. A person whose ancestors came from Cuba are called what? Now, Cuba's in South America, so that should give you a pretty big hint on where the people that came from the South are. Which of these items did African Americans contribute to our culture? Was it baseball and basketball, gospel music and jazz, potatoes and chocolate? That's not a choice, guys. Guitars and music. Which one? Think back to that picture. For each one of those groups, we had put a letter from that picture from the Monday assignment from last week. And so we're looking about which ones did the African Americans contribute to. Okay? All right, look at number 12. Number 12 says, why did the first Chinese immigrants come to the United States? So the Chinese people, why were they coming here to the United States of America? Was it to find gold? To buy furs? Now be careful, because we read about New York where they were talking about furs, but this was not for these people. So to buy furs is out. To open restaurants or to plant gardens. Okay? All right, flip this page over. Hopefully you're with. Number 13. How can you answer the question, why did people settle in my state? How can we answer that question? A, read today's newspaper. Is today's newspaper going to have why people came to settle here? B, go on a hike in the mountains. C, draw pictures of scenery. Or D, look in the website about my state's history. 14. Who were the first Europeans to settle on Manhattan Island? Were they the Dutch, the English, the French, or the Spanish? If you have to, you're welcome to use your TCI book and look that one back up. We talked about it just 2 days ago. And then number 15. The name Manhattan comes from Manhattan, which is Chinese for crowded street, Italian for many furs, Russian for half moon, or Lenape for hilly island. Hilly Island. Who were the first people that lived there before the settlers came? Okay. All right. Now we got our social studies skill here. It says, read the passage in the box. Use the passage and your knowledge of social studies to answer the question below. Circle the letter, the best answer. We still want you to write it out in front. All right, the colonists in eastern North America wanted to make their own laws. They did not want to take the orders from a king far away. The king sent soldiers from England to make the colonists obey. The colonists fought against the soldiers. They fought for the freedom to govern themselves. They won their freedom through a long, difficult war called the American Revolution. They started a new country, the United States of America. All right, which group of Americans is this passage about? Is it about the Indians, about the Asian Americans, about the the European Americans, or the Latinos? Who fought against the king? And I'll give you a hint. It's not A or D. According to the passage, what did the colonists want from the King of England? They wanted freedom to say whatever they wanted to say. They wanted a right to go back to England. They wanted more troops to control the colonies, or they wanted a right to govern themselves. And I'm going to reread this passage right here to find the answer to number 17. Okay, number 18. The passage is most likely written by a geographer, a historian, a scientist, or an economist. Now remember, these are our people. The economist thinks money, 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 money. Was this all about money? And the scientist here, social scientist, thinks about how it came about. A historian studies the things that happened in the past. Or a geography, did it talk about the landforms? Okay. Number 19. It says, the word revolution has many meanings. Which meaning best fits the way the word is used in this passage? They won freedom from a long war called the American Revolution. A war called American Revolution. The overthrow of a government, a sudden or complete change, the spinning of a wheel, or the turning in a circle around a point. Now this is the other kind of revolution. So those want to be it. So I tried to help you out there to pick the correct answer. It's got to be A or B. Now, just like on the last test, I got it all organized and set up for you. Should make it pretty easy for you. However, a lot of you chose not to do this. Cool. And a lot of students did. So the test is worth 20 points, and the test is worth double, so I double it to 40. And then I give you 3 extra credit points. So let's say you got 3 wrong on the test, but you did this. You get 3 extra credit points, you'd still get an A+. A few students got all of them right on the last test because they took their books out on Clever, opened them up, checked out the answers, made sure they had them all right, and they did this. They actually got extra credit points above and beyond an A+. That'd be like an A++. So if you want to do the extra credit, I have it set up for you. Here we go. Suppose that you're a publisher who is about to publish a book. The book is about the ways in which many different groups have made the United States a more diverse nation. Design a cover for the book and draw it below. Make sure your book cover includes. So here's what you got to have. 1, a short, catchy title that will make people want to read your book. America, the diverse nation. America, many people, one nation. So those are a couple catchy book titles. 2, make at least 3 pictures that represents contribution made by different groups to the Americans. Well, remember the Africans made the contribution of the jazz music in the South. And so here I'm going to do one of those trumpets or trombones or maybe saxophone. And I'm going to have this music notes, and okay, that's pretty important to America. I like the Chinese dancers, so I'm going to try to draw one of those dragon dancers here. And I like all sorts of food. Remember, the American Indians showed us how to plant corn and beans and potatoes, and well, we brought different kinds of food from all different kinds of countries. So that's going to be my third picture. And then last one, a made-up 1 cent recommendation for the book that comes from a famous American and will convince others to buy the book. Okay, I'm going to be the famous American Michael Jordan. You'd write down, Michael Jordan read this book. He says, this is the best American history book ever. Maybe my famous person is LeBron James. LeBron James states that he would not set this book down. It was such a great read. And so you got to have a famous person down at the bottom and then tell what that famous book critique person would say. All right, guys, check your test over. It's a great way to bring up your social studies grade. God bless your day.